Welcome to the Art of Money podcast with Art McPherson.
Welcome back to the Art of Money with Art McPherson. It's all powered by the McPherson Financial Group. Luke McCarty is here. You can meet the team, set up that online consultation at artofmoneyradio.com. And while Luke McCarty was changing diapers, Art McPherson was at the Super Bowl having a great experience. Tell me a little bit more about it. Like, was it as bucket list as it seems like it would be to go to a Super Bowl, Art McPherson?
It is. I mean, it's worth doing once. You know, this is my third opportunity going. It'll probably be my last one. The reason I've went ahead and spent the extra dollars to go is because of the connections we have through radio. Mm-hmm. So it has been a great opportunity to do a lot of interviews and get to meet a lot of people for the Art of Money Radio and our podcast. But if it wasn't for that, I probably would have done it once. You know, it is a rich man's sport.
Yeah.
And to me, if you kind of look at what happens, it's a big thank you. The Super Bowl is like a big thank you party for all their sponsorships. So everybody that's been involved in the Super Bowl the whole year, they get a chance to come and kind of have a celebration. So then everybody else that gets the leftover tickets that are not comped, we have to make up the difference. So they might have 30% of those tickets available for the public. Well, guess what? We get to pay way crazy prices because we got to pay for all those free comp tickets.
Yep.
And I think that's how it gets priced. So it is very expensive. All the after party, pre-party stuff is very expensive. Like we talked about, you know, just having a Coke and or a beer and popcorn, you know, was $30. So it is just a very expensive venue. College football to me, way better deal. We went to the national championship game. It was like $500 or $600, you know, so it is just so expensive to be involved with the professional game. But you can tell what it is. It's a big thank you for all the money and the sponsorship. And there's nothing that brings in revenue like professional football.
Amen.
So if you want to have your name out there, it is one of the ways to get it and to market it. So we have really enjoyed it. But we will think very hard about whether or not to do the fourth in a row. I'll tell you that.
So where were you? You had a chance to hang out with some big-time celebrities. What party was this?
We went to a party that was sponsored by the Pump Foundation, and his wife was doing a bowling event where they had a lot of celebrities. So there were celebrities at each lane, and I'm in the bowling lane with me is David Justice and his wife. So we have this order. So my name's up on the board. We have Mike Kinnett's got his name on the board. David Justice got his name on the board. So we're all up there bowling. But the celebrities kept getting pulled, you know, left and right, all over the place. So they're talking to the buddies and their friends and other people, like maybe somebody that sponsors them for something, and they're being pulled left and right. So everybody's bowling in a different spot. We're not bowling for our right names, so it's kind of all over the place. But it was fun. So I'm like, the girls that are there, I'm like, come on, just go bowl, go do it. Yeah. No, my name's not. I'm like, go. Nobody else is bowling. Go bowl. Nobody was really getting any strikes. The only one that did when we were bowling, we bowled about half a game, was David Justice. He's the only one. So,
nice. But
it was just total chaos.
Sure.
Is what it was.
Well, you had the opportunity to talk to some big-time celebrities, including actor. He's a singer as well. He's done some Broadway. We're talking about Jamie Foxx.
Jamie, Art McPherson. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, brother. Give me that shirt.
Look at. Okay. Look, I got a pair of.
Oh, the pre-favorite bone. You went good. You went good with that. Now, let me tell you something about this. These are mine as well, man. This company started, I put on some glasses, and I took a picture on Instagram, and everybody's like, oh, those Gucci Ferragamos, they were glasses that I got at a gas station. They were like $12. So I said, can we make an affordable glass under $30 that everybody could get by? We started this company selling like 250,000 pairs of glasses a day, and now we're killing it, and even in the reader space, so I can make your readers look nice. You ain't got to look funny with your readers.
Yeah, they look good.
Yeah.
All right, so quick question. What would you say has been your favorite role out of all the different things that you've done?
One of my favorite roles is playing Willie Beeman from Any Given Sunday, and I'm going to tell you why. In that movie with Oliver Stone at the helm, Al Pacino, you fight with your fingernails. On that set was Warren Moon, Johnny Unitas, Dick Buckus, Lawrence Taylor, Terrell Owens. I mean, for a kid coming from Terrell, Texas, population 12,248, 247 now that I'm here. All I ever wanted to do was play ball. So to be able to play football on a movie that became a classic and just having the time of my life with some of the greatest legends of football, that's it, hands down.
Thank you, Jamie. Appreciate it.
Was he turned on the whole time? Like, was he cranked up to 10?
Oh, he was awesome. So, I mean, these guys do these interviews so much. They are just 100% on, and they're walking the red carpet, they're doing the whole deal. And it's, you don't have long with them because of them, moving through their paces. But it is amazing how good they are at answering a question. And you can tell he just went into real detail. And it's funny, he gave the population of where he's from, and he's like, but it was 247, because I'm here. So it was so funny. But he was just very cool. And what had happened there that you can't really pick up, I had my sunglasses on, and I said, check these out, and they were his. So what had happened that night is there was a bunch of freebies on the table while we're bowling. Well, one of the things were his glasses, and I had taken a look at it, and I had found that he had sponsored some of his glasses, and they were there for us to pick through and take which one we wanted. So when I interviewed him, that's what I had on, and he was like, all right. So he thought that was cool.
Here's one more with Jamie Foxx, and our buddy Mike Kinnett, tax specialist, asked Jamie Foxx about his favorite food.
Favorite meal? What's your favorite meal you remember growing up?
Pork chops.
Pork chops, what you do to them?
Fry them. Is there any other way? It's Texas.
All right, what else are you having with them?
Mashed potatoes.
Greens? What? Gotta have
Collard
vegetables.
greens, man. Come on, collard greens, man.
Pork chops, mashed potatoes, and collard greens.
Yeah, he yelled that, pork chops.
All right, let's hear some more from Art's interviews out at the Super Bowl and part of the Pump Brothers Foundations. You got to hang out with Dave Roberts, GM of the World Series champions. Not this year, though, of the Dodgers. Pretty cool guy.
Very cool guy. It was neat to meet him because the way somebody comes across on TV, you always kind of want to know, is that how they are in real life? And he was very much that, very put together. He was in a nice suit and everything, but he was very professional, and everything I've ever seen him say on TV, he was all of that when I met him.
Dave Roberts, Art McPherson. Nice to be talking with you.
Pleasure, Art.
What do you think is your biggest success from winning the World Series, and why do you think you were able to pull that off?
You know what? I think, managing the Dodgers, I think the biggest success is we won the World Series during a pandemic year. And where there were a lot of protocols, players very uncomfortable, out of their comfort zones. There were no fans in the stands, in the stadium. And so to kind of be the hunter, remain hungry, and overcome a lot of the adversities in the shortened season. And the NLCS against the Braves, we were down 3-1. And so to have to win 3 more games to get to the World Series was quite the feat. So probably the proudest moment I've had in baseball.
So we're here for a charity event tonight. So how much charity events do you try to do, being a manager, and how much time do you have to do that?
It's hard. I pick my spots, but the Pump Brothers and what they do, for the youth, for cancer, good friends of mine, so I want to come here and support. But certainly during the season, it gets hard with my time. But in the off season, I have 3.5 months, and I kind of pick my spots and balance out time with family and doing charity work.
One last thing. How do you think you guys look for this year?
I love our club. You never know. Every year's different. Every team's different. But I know that I expect us to be World Series champions, and it's no different than any other year.
Well, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Come on. Why didn't you ask him about getting beat by the Braves? Come on, Art. Expect more
Well,
from you on
like
that.
I said, this is on the red carpet, so you can hear how noisy it is, and it's a little bit hard to. You're kind of, they're moving through, right? So you have a real quick. You're just like, I got to get your head together and ask some decent questions. So you don't have long. So as I should have done that. I should have thought, but it was, if you would have been there, of course we would have talked about that, but you weren't there. I asked you if you were going to go, but that never happened.
I have Art McPherson money.
You had to go to Vegas and watch somebody play country music.
George Strait, King George. Here's Mike Kinnett asked Dave Roberts if he enjoyed being a coach or a player more.
I played for 10 years in the big leagues, won a World Series as a ball player. That ability to play with a team and be a part of a team is something very unique. But I think for me as a coach, kind of having the control or being a part of so many different parts of the organization gives me a lot of a wider lens. So I think that to win a World Series as a manager trumps winning the World Series as a player, because I think that as a player, you just don't understand all that goes into an organization. So I guess I just have more appreciation for it as a manager.
Good stuff, man. You can hear all these interviews at the Artist Vault. Just go to artofmoneyradio.com, and it's worth checking it out, Luke, to see Art's party shirt that he had on the weekend. Another classic Art.
Hey, Jamie Foxx liked it. He said, I want that shirt.
That's right. I'm not saying
there you
it's a
go.
bad
That's
thing.
always good. It's always good.
One more for you here as we listen to some of these great interviews from the Super Bowl. Cedric, the entertainer. How much fun was this guy, Art?
He's super cool. I wish we had more time with him.
Cedric, Art McPherson. Nice
Art,
to meet
what's
you.
up, sir? How you doing?
How you doing?
Looking fly, Art.
All right, thank you, buddy.
I like that.
So you have done a lot of stand-up.
Yeah.
You've done a lot of things with your industry. We do a lot of financial planning for our clients.
Okay.
What would you say is the biggest thing that you have to be careful of in your industry?
You know, like always, I think, ideal people, creative people like ourselves, we actually think that everything that kind of comes out of our head is something that's going to make us the next billionaire. And so it is a lot of that self-investing. A lot of that most of us spoil ourselves with early on. If you get any kind of money, you're like, oh, I'm a do a record label. I'm a listen to my cousin and open up a barbecue shop. And so I think really, like having really smart financial people around you, they help you analyze what it is that you're trying to accomplish. If they, if you do have a great idea, then it's good to have people that can help you really look at it, how to break it down fiscally, how to look at the numbers, how to really build a business. Most of us just have an idea, and that's one thing that I always say about young money and new people that coming into it. Don't let it just be about the idea. Learn how to grow the business.
Well, Cedric, thank you. That's awesome.
Man.
Appreciate
All right,
your
good.
time.
And here's Mike Kinnett asking Cedric, the entertainer, does he prefer the stage or the screen?
The stage is the one that I started out first. It's the one where you have the most connection to your audience. Where, it's instantly you walk out, you say something, either they love it, and they rock with it, but that energy is the back and forth. It's the tennis match, Yeah. And so it's the one that gives you the most energy. It is a young man's sport. I say that, though. Once you start doing movies and voiceover work, then, you get to do that with ease. But I still love to go on stage.
Luke McCarty, Art McPherson's gotten really good at these celebrity interviews.
He has. His questions were a lot better than Mike Kinnett's. Send that clip to Mike. But no, he gets really good answers, and Cedric the Entertainer's answer was really good, really clever. It was funny when he's talking about the barbecue. Art pointed at me. I've never asked anybody to fund my barbecue restaurant. I failed it on my own. Thank you.
I can lose my own money.
Yes.
No, we hear about that all the time, though, with the guys I'm interviewing. And when we have the time to do our sit-down interviews, because we've done that the prior two Super Bowls where we actually have a meeting spot and we can do like a 10-minute interview with them, you can get more in-depth and talk to them more about the charity and about money. And it is always the same conversation where they come into money, and Cedric did a good job of explaining new money. So it's new to you being a millionaire and getting paid millions of dollars a year. Well, they all think that the idea is worth $1 billion, and I think that's very appropriate because it's so true with new wealth or new dollars. Yeah, Bitcoin is good and it can be very high, upside. But if you want to put $1 million in there and you did that last summer and now it's only worth about 600,000, that's going to sting a little bit.
Yeah.
So, those kind of things. And when you're making those kind of dollars and those kind of revenues, whether it's a football player or a baseball player, we have a professional baseball player here at McPherson Financial Group. And when you have those kind of resources and dollars, you can make big mistakes.
And you can hear all these interviews in the Artist Vault. Just go to artofmoneyradio.com, click on the Artist Vault, all these great celebrity interviews, and we have more. We'll play more interviews from Art's trip to the Super Bowl over the next couple of weeks here on The Art of Money.
Thanks for listening. Want more from Art McPherson of McPherson Financial Group? Find us online at artofmoneyradio.com. We are an independent financial services firm helping individuals create retirement strategies using a variety of financial and insurance products to custom suit their needs and objectives. Securities offered through World Equity Group, Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Investment advisory services offered through ProStatus Group, LLC. McPherson Financial Group and ProStatus Group, LLC are separate entities and are not owned or controlled by World Equity Group, Inc. Exposure to ideas and financial vehicles discussed should not be considered investment advice or recommendation to buy or sell any financial vehicle. Past performance is not not a guarantee of future results. Investments can fluctuate and when redeemed may be worth more or less than when originally invested. Investment financial professionals are not licensed in all 50 states. Art McPherson is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency and does not provide legal or tax advice. Please consult with your attorney, accountant, and or tax advisor for advice concerning your particular circumstances. Annuity guarantees rely solely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance and annuity products offered through Arthur McPherson, Florida Insurance License number A1744725.
Today's show has been a work of art.